Hi.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm going to try to keep my voice soft. I'm running out of voice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, yeah. Sometimes when you do five or 6 hours in one day, your voice gets hoarse.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
all right.
Okay.
I think I know what you want to review today. You have a test tomorrow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So let me make up some problems, and then we can look at those sheets that I got from your dad.
Okay.
But there are some very, very fundamental, basic things you need to be able to do.
Okay.
One is determine the slope between 2 points. What's the slope between those 2 points?
Um, 8, so 4.
Very good. Change them.
Okay.
Now what's the slope?
Now the slope would be -4.
No, what's the rise?
So you do 11 minus 3.
Okay, that's in the top. What's in the bottom?
4 minus a minus 2.
What's 4 minus minus 2?
Oh, 6, because you have the opposite.
Okay, now simplify that.
2 goes in 8 4 times, so 4/3.
Good. Done.
Okay.
Slope here. Goes in the numerator.
So it'd be -3.
Okay, how are you doing it? You're allowed to go
Oh,
either
well,
direction as long as you go both the same direction with both numbers.
1 minus a minus 2.
So what is that?
So here, let me write this down. So that'd be 3.
Okay. What about the bottom?
And the bottom would be -9.
Do it. Write it out.
So you have 4 minus 3,
No, 4 minus.
4 minus a minus 5. Okay, so now it'd be 9.
Okay. So that's this. What does that simplify to?
And then that would simplify to 1/3.
Okay. All right. So you know how to do it.
Yeah.
The question is doing it slow enough and writing it down every single step and not making a mistake.
Okay.
And by every single step, I recommend writing it with parentheses in the bottom like that.
Okay.
And same in the top, 1 minus a minus 2.
Okay.
Because if you write it like that, I don't think you'll make a mistake. The only time you make a mistake is when you immediately try to jump to the answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? So, that's one skill you have to be able to do.
Okay.
Now, give me the equation of this line.
Okay, so this equation would be
Let's
y
use
equals...
point slope.
Oh, okay. Pointslope.
What's the general of point slope?
Let's see. So it's m equal,
No?
y minus y1 is equal to m parentheses x2 minus x1.
No, just x minus x1.
X minus x1.
In other words, the reason this is called point slope is because we're going to know the slope and exactly 1 point. This point right here.
Yeah.
In other words, we're going to be able to pick either of these 2 points for our point.
Okay.
Okay? We just figured out what the slope was. What was the slope? 1/3?
1/3, yeah.
Okay, so give me the equation of this line.
Okay, so this would be 1
No?
Oh.
Just don't substitute for that y. Substitute for this point.
Oh, so -2. So y minus -2.
Well, we can do it that way. So you're going to use this point over here. Okay.
Yeah.
I would have used this point just because it's positive numbers.
Oh, okay. So yeah, just so y plus 1.
Use the easiest point to do
Okay.
the math. Okay?
Okay.
Positive numbers tend to be a little easier to deal with.
Okay.
So it's y what?
So it'd be y plus, y plus 1.
What's that say?
So y minus 1.
Yeah, in other words,
Okay.
y sub 1 is a positive 1.
Okay.
And we're subtracting a positive 1.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay,
So,
equals what?
Equals, m.
Which is? We
So
solve for it.
1/3. So equals 1/3, parentheses x, minus 4.
Okay, and that's an acceptable answer if they said, give me your answer in point slope.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, give it to me in slope-intercept format. So convert that to slope-intercept format.
Okay. So y equals 1/3 x
Hold on. Y minus 1
equals 1/3 x, 1/3 minus,
oh, excuse me, 1/3 x. Well, I don't know what I was thinking there.
oh no, you're good.
What is this?
Negative 4/12.
4 over 3.
Or 4/3.
Remember, you're multiplying. You're multiplying 1/3 times a negative 4.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Just multiply numerators. The denominator of that 4 is a 1.
It's a 1. Yeah.
So it's minus 4 over 3.
Okay.
Okay? Now deal with this 1.
So you would...
In other words, slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. It's not y minus some number. So
yeah.
we got to add 1 to both sides. So add 1, add 1. And now let's simplify. What do we have on the left?
So y is equal to 1/3 x minus...
What's that combination? Negative 4/3 plus 1. How do we do
so you'd have to find a common denominator.
Okay, what is it going to be?
We could do 3.
Okay, so we have to turn this into a denominator with 3. What does 1 become?
1/1.
3 over 3.
3 over 3, okay.
In other words, we have to turn it into a denominator of 3. Well, it still has to equal 1. I can't change its value.
Yeah.
But I can make its denominator 3 by making its numerator 3 also.
Okay.
Okay, if that was a 2, then I'd make the numerator 6.
Okay.
In other words, I make that whatever fraction I have to make it to give it a denominator of 3.
Okay.
Now, what is the result of minus 4/3 plus 3/3?
It would be negative 1/3.
Good.
Okay.
Negative 1/3. And there would be our answer in slope-intercept format.
Okay.
Okay? So that's pretty good. And that's the way I would suggest you do it. In other words, there is another way to get slope-intercept format, starting with slope and a point, and that is to substitute the point and solve for b. But notice we didn't do that here. We started with point slope, which is a one-step fill-in, and then we merely converted it and solved for y.
Okay.
And ended up with slope-intercept.
Okay, cool.
Okay? All right. Now, let's go from there. I have another line that is parallel to this line. And my other line goes through the point 2, 3. What's the equation of that line?
In point slope form?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Yeah,
Or,
Pointslope. Yeah, that's the easiest one to get.
okay, so it'd be y minus 3 equals 2.
What's parallel mean?
That the slope is equal.
Okay, what was the slope on my first line?
1/3.
So it
So
doesn't
equals,
change.
no, so 1/3 x.
In parentheses.
Yeah, in
Remember, it's
parentheses.
x minus x sub 1. What's x sub 1?
And then x of 1 was, what was it? 2, yeah.
So it's x minus 2.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Now, convert that to slope-intercept.
Okay. So first you would simplify, so y minus 3 is equal to 1/3 x minus 2/3. Or, yeah, 2/3.
What next?
And then you would add 3 to both sides. So negative 2/3 plus 3/1.
Okay.
And that would be,
So how do you do that part of it?
you,
You have
if
to
I have to
turn
find
the,
a common
what do you have to turn the
denominator.
3 over 1 into?
3/3.
That's equal to 1. This is equal to 3.
Oh, so 3/1.
That's not a denominator of 3. We can't add it until it has a denominator of 3. So let's look at that right now. What do I have to do to make its denominator 3?
Times it by 3.
Okay. Well, I'm allowed to times it by 1 only,
Yeah.
which is 3 over 3.
Yeah.
So what does that become?
1.
No, multiply acrosses.
Oh, so it'd be 9/30.
Okay. So 3 turns into 9 over 3.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the result of that?
7/3.
Good. So now
So
I
yeah,
have y equals 1/3 x
minus
plus
7 or plus 7/3.
plus 7 over.
Plus.
And that is the equation in slope-intercept format.
Okay.
Okay? Another problem that I know is going to be on your quiz. Here's our equation. I have another line that goes through the point 4 comma minus 2
Okay.
and is perpendicular to this line. So it goes through this point and it's perpendicular to this line. What is the equation of this new line?
So it'd be y minus 2.
Be careful. Be very, very
Y.
specific here. What's the general?
Well, y minus the minus 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always put that point in parentheses just so you don't ever make that mistake.
Okay.
Okay? Equals what?
Is equal to 1/3 x.
No, it's perpendicular.
Oh, so it'd be 3x.
No?
Negative 3x.
Okay. Remember the
Yeah, negative
negative
reciprocal.
reciprocal, there's 2 actions required.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do that part and that part.
Okay.
Can't just flip it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the negative reciprocal?
Negative 3.
Times.
Negative times x minus 4. Yeah.
Okay, again, that's in point slope. Give it to me in slope intercept.
Okay, so on the left side be y minus the minus 2 is equal to
Well, let's go ahead and simplify that
y
immediately.
plus 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, is equal
That
to
actually
negative.
that was not a satisfactory answer. It needed to say y plus 2.
Okay.
Okay? In other words, this is not simplified at all. You can't leave your answer like this. You got to turn that into y plus 2 as quickly as possible. Okay, equals what?
Is equal to negative 3x plus 12.
Good. Next line.
Now the next line would be, well, say you would subtract 2 from both sides. so it'd be y is equal to negative 3x plus 10.
Good. That's the equation and slope-intercept of the line perpendicular to it.
Cool.
Okay, so you get parallel, you get perpendicular.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at some of those sheets.
Okay.
What other thing do you wish to review? We got 15 minutes. Let's do one of these. Let me make one of these up.
Yeah, sure.
Because those are a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize that you didn't go through and change it yet. These are the wrong answers.
Yeah, I changed them. We just didn't. Yeah, we just didn't send the new one. Yet.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let me make some up. First of all, what's another expression for y?
F of x.
Aha. So when they tell you that f of 2 equals 3, there's the x right there. This must be the y. If f of x equals y, which it does, in other words, we can always do that substitution, then that tells us immediately which is the x and which is the y when they give it to us in this strange format they're giving it to us. Okay? So, first of all don't make the mistake I made when I first did it. I put the x over here and the y there.
Oh, yeah.
But you won't make that mistake if you remember that f of x is equal to y. That tells you which is the x and which is the y right there.
Cool.
Okay, so I have f of 2 equals 3, and I also have f of 4 equals 6. Give me the equation of this line.
Okay, so first of all, the coordinates would be 2, 3, and then 4, 6. And then do you want it in point slope form?
Start it in slope-intercept. No, point slope is fine.
Okay.
No, give it to me in slope-intercept, and you can use whatever method you want.
Okay, so the slope would be 3 over 2. Okay, so it'd be y equals 3 over 2x plus 3.
No. In other words, you can't go straight to slope-intercept format. It's y equal 3 over 2x plus b if we're going to try to do it.
Okay.
And then we'd plug in one of these points for y and x and solve for b. But gosh, we just did 100 of them where you did them perfectly as long as we started with point slope. So use point slope every time.
Okay, yeah, and then just convert it.
Then convert it. You know how to do the conversion.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to do that math anyway because if you try to solve for b, you got to do that same math that's required to do the conversion. So it's no additional work. So let's start with point slope.
Okay. So point slope would be y. Oh, sorry, I said it. My brain just went blank. So it'd be y.
Well, what's
y
the general?
minus,
always start with the general, and then your brain. It doesn't matter if it goes blank. In other words, if we start with this, now it's all even a dead brain can plug in everything we need to plug in.
Yeah.
Okay. So what next?
So it'd be y minus 3 is equal to 3 over 2x.
Hold on. Don't be so quick to distribute that.
Yeah. X minus 2.
Okay. Always do that full step. Write it like that. Don't try to do 2 steps at once. That's where I see you get into trouble always. Now what's the next step?
So now you would simplify it. So it'd be y minus 3 equals 3 over 2x minus, so you'd have to do 3 over 2 minus 2 over 1.
3 over 2 times a minus 2.
Or times
when
a
you're
minus 2.
distributing that, It's not 3 over 2 minus 2. It's 3 over 2 times that term, which is a minus 2. So
Yeah.
what is 3 halves times a minus 2?
Negative 6 over 2, which is equal to negative 3.
Okay, let me show you the
So
easier way of doing that. And it's a way I'd like to see you do. Rather than multiply the numerators, simplify the thing. Divide both top and bottom by 2, turning that into a 1 and that into a 1. And now we immediately get minus 3, instead of having to go through 6 over 2. Okay? With this problem, it didn't make much difference. But if you have a problem like 330 times 7 divided by 14, that's going to be very useful to turn that 7 and 14 into 1 over 2.
Yeah.
Rather than multiply 7 times 330. In other words, always simplify these things down if you can before you carry out the multiplication.
Okay.
Okay, so this is minus 3. Now what?
So now it would be you'd add 3 to both sides.
Okay.
So now it'd be just y equals 3 over 2x.
Yep. And that's the answer.
Cool.
Okay. Do we need to review any more that are in this f of x format? Or you got that down pretty good?
Yeah, I think I have that down pretty good.
I think you do too. And in other words, as long as you can go from this, what I have circled, to a pair of coordinates, you're good once you get a pair of coordinates. I think. Once you get 2 points, you can put it out in slope-intercept, you can put it out in point-slope, you can figure out the slope, you can do all those things.
Cool.
You know what perpendicular and parallel mean. So
Yeah.
let's see. I think we can dispense with page. Oh, no, that was not the page I wanted to dispense with. Let's see. This page here. We're done with this page.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the bottom that had all that stuff. Okay, you know how to write it in slope-intercept? Okay, let's close that page, look at the second page, and see if there's any last-minute stuff we need to review. How about arithmetic sequences? Should we talk about those?
Sure.
I don't see anything on here that would give you any problem at all.
No, they all look good.
Okay. I'm going to make up an arithmetic sequence and ask you for a certain term.
Okay, cool.
What's the general term for an arithmetic sequence? A sub n equals what?
A sub n equals a of 1. What was it? Plus...
The way they write it was...
plus n minus 1. D, and then...
I prefer to put the d in front.
Okay.
Just because that's where we're used to seeing coefficients.
Yeah.
I don't really like that they wrote it the way they did.
Okay.
Okay? Just because we know that eventually we're going to fill in a d, and then we're going to have to distribute it. So let's put it where it's going to end up anyway. Okay, so now let me give you the sequence. Tell me the 10th term of this sequence.
Okay, so you do a of n equals a of 10. Yeah, a of 10 equals a of 10.
Hold on. Let's plug in exactly. In other words, I told you we're going to figure out what the 10th term is, so n is 10.
Yeah, so it'd be a of 10 is equal to a of 2.
Good. No, a of 1. What's a of 1?
A of 1 is
The
2,
first
right?
term, yes. It's the first term in the sequence, whatever it is. In this case, it's 2.
Yeah.
So a sub 10, this is a sub 10, is equal to 2 plus, what's the common difference?
Plus 3, so plus 3
times at 10 minus 1, not 10 plus. It's n minus 1, not n
yeah,
plus
n
1.
minus 1.
Okay?
Okay.
So what goes here?
10 minus 1.
Which is?
9.
So what is the 10th term of the sequence?
So it'd be so 29.
Good.
Cool.
And if I were to count it out, by the time I got to the 10th term, it would be 29.
Cool.
Okay, so as long as we don't forget that general term, and they may actually give you that on the test. In other words, they gave it to you here.
Yeah.
Of course, I screwed it up. That didn't help you any. Okay, let's do one more sequence.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Make this one a little tougher.
Okay.
Start with the general. Again, what is it?
A of n equals a of 1 plus d of n minus 1.
Tell me the 40th term of this sequence.
Okay, so it'd be a of 40 is equal to 6 plus...
I'm going to put the common difference in parentheses, just so we don't get it wrong.
Okay.
What is the common difference?
Negative 7.
Very good. And what goes in for n minus 1?
40 minus 1, which is 39.
Okay. So our 40th term is 6 plus, whatever that is, minus 273.
Yeah.
So that is minus 267.
Cool.
And that makes sense. Notice that they're getting smaller. In other words, we're losing 7 every time, so the next one's going to be minus 15. We're going to the left on the number line. And so the 40th term should be a big negative number, and it is.
Cool.
All right, so you got sequences down, I think. That's really all there is to them, is figuring out the common difference, knowing what the general format is, and then plugging it in.
Cool, yeah.
Okay? All right. Piecewise functions. Not sure I have enough time. Unfortunately, I have a new student tonight at 6.
Okay.
So I wouldn't mind ending a minute or two early if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
Let me draw a quick piecewise function. You tell me what it is.
Okay.
Just that much of it.
Okay, so it'd be f of x is equal to the y value would be 1.
Okay.
And then the...
Don't forget to do the right part.
Yeah.
You have to spell out the domain. It's equal to 1
when x is 0.
No, we're looking at this one, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back again and start from the bottom left.
Okay.
What is f of x equal to right there?
F of x is equal to 1.
Right here. Not here.
Oh, so 0.
Okay.
0.
So f of x is equal to 0 when x is what?
When x is less than.
Give me the whole thing.
So
in other words,
0 is
spell
less
it out
than.
like a piecewise function would spell it out.
Okay, so 0 is less than or equal to x.
X goes in the middle, so x is greater than or equal to 0, and less than what?
And less than 1.
Okay. What's the rest of the piecewise function?
Then the next one would be 1. And then so this one would be 1 is less, or x is...
Start from the x and then give me the left and the right.
So x is greater than or equal to 1, which is less than or equal to 2. Or that's less than 2, yeah.
The way you pronounce that is you say x is greater than or equal to 1 and less than 2.
Okay, yeah.
It's in that interval.
Okay.
Okay? And
Okay.
that's the way you do piecewise. And when you're graphing them, when they give you a piecewise function and you have to graph it,
Yeah, I think so.
start from this.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't
Okay.
start from this side. Start from the X and from the left. And work your way forward. Work your way to the right. Okay?
Okay. Awesome.
All right, Dylan. Talk to you
All right,
next
thank you.
time. I think it's tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye.